This is Tim Willis of Face Made for Radio and a Voice Made for Newsprint. This is ClickPhones and ClickDesigns, and today we're working with ClickDesigns and looking at grouping and also a brief look at the layers control. The layers are something we'll probably deal with in a later video, but I wanted to show you where the controls for that are. And the origin of this video is I made a new Facebook cover. I needed to raise it up a little bit because when I put it into Facebook, it was a little low. Graphic, so I thought it was a perfect opportunity to talk about grouping. In this video, I show the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm show you the controls for grouping, how to do it. I also show you that there's a set of grouping controls that only appears when you're working for groups. That can be a little tricky and might even give you some undesired effects. See in the video where I kind of had trouble with that because it was actually the first time I used those controls, because generally I don't work that way. But I wanted to put it in the video because they're there and people need to be aware that they're there, how they work and how they behave in real time. So anyway, that is the video today. It's going to be on grouping elements in ClickDesigns. Let's go ahead and go to the window view, see what's going on with the grouping in ClickDesigns. Okay, so here we are at the ClickPhones and ClickDesigns group, and I changed the cover earlier today, but it didn't quite come out the way I wanted to. It's a little low here. You can see how it's kind of getting to the shaded area. So all I really need to do is pick it up a little bit. And sometimes it's hard to pretty things out when you're doing with these social media covers. The ones on YouTube is really crazy. You got to basically shoot for the middle on everything there. I decided this would be a good time to do a video while I'm doing it and show the grouping and layer functions in ClickDesigns. And so that's what we're going to do. So we are done with the Facebook part of it now. We're not going to be back here. And I've created a couple of different copies of this so we can play with this. I've got this one I've called Lab Rat, and that's the one we're going to use. And this will be the one later on I'll probably do for real. Anyway, we're going to launch this. Okay, so now we have it up. I'm going to go ahead and this cabinet just a little bit so we can get the whole thing on screen. And let's look at what we got here. We have a couple of different elements here. They're all text elements. Background, of course, is black. We have one element here. This is the ClickPhones and ClickDesigns in red. And each of these elements down here are individual text elements. There's 3 different ones here. So until we have 4 text elements and the black background. So what we're going to want to do here is first look at what goes on when we're working with these elements. So we're going to use the ClickPhones ClickDesigns element. And here's what we see in our text settings. We got our text layer, edit text box, our general controls like text alignment, color, font size, and so on. If we scroll down, we have our advanced features that we're not using. And then down here, we have our other layer options. So this is the first place where we have layers, or at least partially has layer controls. So we have a layer control to bring forward or send backwards here. And depending on what you have on the screen, which would be something more complicated than what we're looking at right now, you may have to click on something several times to get it to be backwards or forwards, whichever direction you want it to go. In addition, we have buttons to center horizontally, center vertically, a duplicate button. We can flip horizontally, or we can flip vertically. We can lock the screen, or to lock the element. We can select all, which will actually create everything as one thing we can move, or we can fit the screen. So if we click on select all, you see how it has a boundary box around the whole thing, then each element within has its own boundary box. And click on that again, and it removes that. Now the lock, if you click the ClickPhones and ClickDesigns, place, try that again. ClickPhones and ClickDesigns. lock doesn't allow us to move that, but we could move these here. Just click unlock, and that's good. All right, so that's the original controls we had, ClickDesigns, but later on they added another feature called the layers control up here in the upper right hand corner. We click on here, and I showed this in an earlier video, then we get a lot more control, and it's going to have a element for each thing that's on the canvas except for the background. Here we can see we have the no fake testimonials, no affirmations, dance routines, ClickDesigns, and we can rename these lines here to make them more understandable to us. It's going to be a big thing for you. Got a lot of groups on the screen. We can lock it where it can't be moved, just like we did on the other control, or we can click the eyeball and make it hide. And then if we want to bring it back, we can go as well. We can actually rearrange these lines any order we want, make it easy to work with. That's pretty much it for the layers. Not quite Photoshop level layering, but it is useful when you have a lot of stuff going on screen. That's pretty much all I'm going to cover on the layers on this video. We'll probably get in the video later on that gets deeper into that, but I just wanted to go ahead and show you those controls so that you know where they are. Now back to our problem, which is we need to move this whole thing up. So we can do this a couple different ways. Of course, we can choose select all, and that will do it. We can also highlight around the whole thing, and you see that's also a way of selecting all, and we just click from here and turn that off. And then the final way you can do that is if you right click on your mouse, you're going to get this drop down. It'll do group, duplicate, bring forward, send backwards, lock, unlock, or delete. We can do it this way, and when we do it like this, what we would do is we would head and select one of the items, and if you press shift, select the next one, select next. Okay, so here we just need to move this up just a bit. I'm going to try right there, and you can see we do have our vertical and horizontal boundary lines there. They're kind of hard to see probably on the video, but we have that. I'm going to move just a bit like that. I think that's probably going to be good. Okay, so I almost forgot about something because I never really use it the way I do things, but I need to show that it exists. So I reloaded back up same design we worked on earlier, and I'm going to go ahead and reduce the canvas size. And here's what's going on. So if we highlight ClickPhones and ClickDesigns part, which is one text element, go to our text, you can see the controls, and I showed you all these before earlier in the video, so nothing's changed about that. However, these three text elements in white here are separate text elements. So if I highlight this top one, again, we're going to see what we have seen before. Same thing, a single text element, a single text element. Now, if we highlight all three where they become a group, and then we have some other options come up. So we're going to play with this a little bit. We have group alignment, group horizontal spacing, group vertical spacing, and then here we have new group on group added. Everything else looks like it's pretty much the same, except I would expect going to do this for the whole group. Let's go ahead and do click horizontally, find out. Right, so when we got them grouped like that, the controls down here are going to act on the whole thing that's highlighted in the boundary boxes. All right, let's see what else we have here. Horizontal space, group spacing, horizontal spacing. Go to vertical spacing instead. Okay, so that moves it that way. vertical spacing. That he'll probably just made me getting ready to mess up this design here, but that's okay. Okay with that. The vertical spacing is doing the vertical spacing. Okay, we're fine there. 6. That. Now you notice what's also not available here is our undo and redo controls while we're working on this. All right, let's take our horizontal space. Okay, that gets us largely back to where we were, but it's still kind of out of line here. We'll probably be able to fix that later once we get back into regular view. So that's going to be your horizontal space. All right, there. Should be horizontal spacing, whatever that means. Not quite sure. All right, and then we have group alignment here. So you may have seen these kind of controls before. There are flex controls in ClickFunnels. I see them on their programs. So we have align vertical, align vertical left. All right, let's try this. Okay, there we go. Now, doing the align horizontal left got us back to where we were. If we were to choose align horizontal right, it would do the opposite of that. Align horizontal center, centers it. Align vertical center, and it's going to center it all there. That's kind of not really doing us a lot of good there. And vertical top, vertical bottom. As I said, I may have screwed this up really good here, but that's okay because I'm not going to save the result. Okay, anyway, you see that we have these other controls here. Let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and exit out of here. Okay, so we're good. It didn't save those results. Generally, you get a little message there, but you're going to have something like unchanged result, but this time we didn't. Let's go ahead and load this back up. Group that same group again. And if it looks like I don't know what I'm doing, it's because I literally don't know what I'm doing on this part because I've never messed with it before. I just never had to, and ClickDesigns is a big program. I haven't gone through all of it yet. We still have many things to come, but this is something we just know. So let's take a look at what we can look. See what align vertical top. That aligns that like that. Again, we can't undo that. Yeah, I would definitely use some caution on using. They do have the certain functions like the align horizontal left, align horizontal right that can certainly be used. But it is kind of one of those things of might want to have a duplicate copy, whatever you work on, just in case you screw up and you accidentally click save, you'll have a original copy of what. So really there's nothing here where we can go back, and if we undo it like still the same thing, we don't have our undo buttons working. So that is kind of a bummer right there. But at least I kind of put it on film. What happens if you just go willy-nilly setting those group controls? It can go all wrong, or it can be useful. So that is that. And when I first did the video, I forgot to show that because I never actually used controls before. But now I have, and so you're worth there. All right. So that is really going to be the video. And my name is Tim Willis. I'm a certified ClickFunnels funnel builder. Tutorial and demonstration videos on ClickFunnels, ClickDesigns are useful tools for hackers and funnel hacking. That's the video for today. I'll talk to you later. Bye.